That warm, fresh-baked bread they bring to your table? It might be hiding secrets that could turn your stomach faster than bad yeast. From frozen dough shipped cross-country to moldy prep areas, these 9 popular chains have bread practices that will make you question every basket they've ever served. Panera Bread, the company that convinced millions of Americans that fast casual dining could feel artisanal, has built a $24 billion empire on a single promise: fresh bread baked daily in every location. Walk into any Panera and you'll see flour-dusted surfaces, rustic ovens, and signs proclaiming freshly baked. But former employees tell a different story. According to internal company documents obtained in 2023, roughly 80% of Panera's bakery items arrive at restaurants completely frozen from centralized production facilities. That sourdough you smell, it's being reheated, not baked. The process is so standardized that employees receive just 2 hours of training on how to thaw, proof, and warm pre-made dough. One former assistant manager from Ohio posted on social media that her location regularly served day-old bread to customers, simply warming it up and placing it in fresh baskets. Health department inspections across 43 states have documented repeated violations at Panera locations for improper dough storage. Temperature logs showed dough stored above 41 degrees Fahrenheit, well into the danger zone where bacteria multiply rapidly. Even more concerning, multiple former employees have revealed that bread bowls used for soup are often reused when customers don't finish their meals. The bowls get a quick wipe down and go right back into service. A 2024 investigation by food safety experts found that the average Panera bread item spends more time in transit and storage than in actual baking. Your artisan roll has likely traveled over 800 miles and spent 3 weeks frozen before it reaches your table. If the restaurant chain that built its entire reputation on fresh bread is cutting corners this dramatically, what's happening at places where bread is just an afterthought? Those famous unlimited breadsticks at Olive Garden arrive at your table with a side of unlimited problems. What seems like generous hospitality actually masks one of the most concerning bread operations in casual dining. Every breadstick you've ever eaten there started its journey frozen solid in industrial packaging, shipped from a central facility weeks before landing on your plate. But freezing is just the beginning. Those breadsticks get brushed with what Olive Garden calls garlic butter, but is actually a margarine blend containing over 15 different preservatives, stabilizers, and artificial flavors. The ingredient list reads more like a chemistry experiment than a kitchen recipe. Here's where it gets worse. That garlic butter mixture sits in heated warmers for entire shifts, sometimes 6 to 8 hours straight, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Former employees have posted videos showing the thick, separated mixture that develops after hours of heating, yet servers are instructed to keep using it until the container is empty. Perhaps most shocking are the cleanliness standards. Multiple former workers have revealed they were told to serve breadsticks that fell on the floor as long as they looked clean enough. One viral TikTok from a former Olive Garden employee showed the 5-second rule in action, with dropped breadsticks going right back into the basket. Health inspections from 2023 discovered flour storage areas with active pest infestations at 12 different Olive Garden locations across 7 states. Rodent droppings were found mixed in with flour supplies, yet operations continued. When you think unlimited breadsticks are problematic, wait until you see what restaurants with even bigger portions are hiding in their kitchens. The Cheesecake Factory's massive portions come with equally massive problems behind the scenes. That warm brown bread they're famous for? It's often prepared more than 8 hours before it reaches your table, stored in plastic bags that trap moisture and create the perfect environment for bacterial growth. Walk into any Cheesecake Factory kitchen during dinner rush, and you'll witness food safety protocols getting tossed aside faster than yesterday's bread. Former kitchen staff have documented butter sitting unrefrigerated for entire 6 to 8 hour shifts during busy periods. Temperature logs from a 2024 Health Department investigation in California showed butter stored at room temperature reaching 78 degrees Fahrenheit, well above safe storage limits. The brown bread that customers rave about sits in those plastic storage bags, developing condensation that makes the bottom slices soggy and potentially unsafe. Multiple former employees have admitted on industry forums that they were instructed to serve bread that looked questionable rather than waste inventory. One former baker from Arizona posted photos showing moldy spots on bread that managers told her to work around. Even the ingredients aren't what they seem. That honey wheat bread contains high fructose corn syrup as its second ingredient, not actual honey. The artisan appearance masks industrial production methods and cost-cutting measures that prioritize shelf life over freshness. Internal company emails leaked in 2023 revealed that district managers pressured locations to extend bread holding times during peak hours to avoid waste, despite knowing the safety risks involved. The restaurants that market themselves as higher quality alternatives often have the most to hide about their actual practices. You might think all Panera locations follow the same standards, but franchise-owned stores operate under a completely different set of rules. While corporate locations have their own problems, franchise owners face constant pressure to cut costs, and bread quality is often the first casualty. Independent franchise owners discovered they could source cheaper frozen dough from alternative suppliers, not the centralized Panera facilities. Internal Franchise Association documents from 2024 show that nearly 30% of franchise locations use lower-grade dough to boost profit margins by up to 18% per loaf. The result? Bread that looks like Panera's but lacks the texture, flavor, and safety standards customers expect. Corporate inspections at franchise locations happen 60% less frequently than at company-owned stores, creating opportunities for shortcuts that would never fly under direct corporate oversight. Employee turnover at franchise locations runs 40% higher than corporate stores, meaning less experienced staff handle food preparation with minimal training. One former franchise employee in Texas revealed that her location's training consisted of a 15-minute video and a printed checklist. Perhaps most concerning, health inspectors in Michigan and Florida documented franchise locations mixing expired dough batches with fresh ones to avoid waste. Temperature logs showed some franchises storing dough at unsafe temperatures for days while managers looked the other way. A 2023 lawsuit revealed that one franchise owner instructed managers to alter expiration dates on dough packaging when corporate deliveries were delayed. The neighborhood bakeries with their cozy local feel often hide the most industrial practices of all. Corner Bakery Cafe has perfected the art of looking local while operating like a factory. Those rustic wooden shelves and handwritten menu boards create the perfect illusion of a neighborhood bakery. But every single bread product travels over 1,000 miles before reaching your plate. All Corner Bakery bread originates from one massive production facility in Illinois, then gets trucked frozen to locations across 33 states. The sourdough you're convinced tastes so authentic? It's made from a powder mix, not the traditional fermented starter that real sourdough requires. Former bakers have posted photos of the industrial packets labeled sourdough flavor base that get mixed with water to create what the company calls artisan bread. Those fresh daily signs posted throughout every location are deliberately misleading. Internal memos obtained through a 2024 employment lawsuit revealed that bread is often 2 to 3 days old when served to customers. Former managers from multiple states have testified that during slow periods, they were explicitly instructed to sell day-old bread as fresh rather than mark it down or discard it. The disconnect between marketing and reality runs deep. Corporate training materials show that employees are taught to describe bread as baked fresh this morning, even when it was thawed and reheated from frozen stock. Temperature logs from health inspections show bread stored at unsafe temperatures for extended periods, with some locations keeping products at room temperature for over 12 hours. One former district manager revealed that corporate policy prioritizes profit margins over product quality, with bonuses tied to minimizing food waste regardless of freshness standards. You'd expect better from obvious fast food operations, but even they have bread secrets that might surprise you. Subway built a global empire on the promise of fresh bread baked daily, but that foundation crumbled when an Irish court delivered a shocking verdict in 2020. The judges ruled that Subway's bread contains so much sugar, it cannot legally be classified as bread under Irish tax law. The sugar content was 5 times higher than the legal limit for bread products. That sweetness you taste isn't artisan craftsmanship. It's industrial engineering designed to mask other problems. All Subway dough arrives frozen and must be thawed properly to achieve the right texture. But rushed employees often skip crucial steps. Former workers have documented dough thawed at room temperature instead of controlled refrigeration, creating dense, gummy bread that tastes more like cake than a sandwich foundation. The bread ovens themselves tell another disturbing story. Health inspections across multiple states have found ovens with buildup of grease, crumbs, and residue that should be cleaned daily, but often goes weeks without proper maintenance. This residue affects both taste and food safety, creating off flavors and potential contamination risks. One former employee posted photos of oven interiors with black, crusty buildup that looked more like industrial equipment than food preparation surfaces. Perhaps most telling is the training employees receive for handling stale bread. Internal training videos show workers being instructed to slice older bread thinner to hide texture problems and make it seem fresher. When bread starts to get tough, the solution isn't to discard it, but to disguise it. A 2023 survey of former Subway employees found that 68% reported being pressured to use questionable bread rather than waste inventory. When pizza places handle dough and crust, the stakes get even higher with more complex preparation processes. Papa John's markets itself on better ingredients, better pizza, but their dough handling practices tell a different story. During peak hours, when orders flood in faster than ovens can keep up, food safety protocols get abandoned in favor of speed. Former employees have documented dough balls sitting at room temperature for hours beyond safe limits during Friday and Saturday night rushes. FDA guidelines require dough to be kept below 41 degrees or above 140 degrees, but internal temperature logs from multiple locations show dough stored in the danger zone for up to 6 hours during busy periods. One former manager in Florida admitted that during Super Bowl weekend, his location kept dough at room temperature for an entire shift to avoid running out. The famous garlic sauce creates its own set of problems. Made in large batches and stored improperly, it's been linked to several foodborne illness outbreaks across different states. Health Department investigations in 2023 found garlic sauce stored at unsafe temperatures for days, with some batches showing visible separation and bacterial growth. Cross-contamination between raw dough and ready-to-eat breadsticks happens regularly in Papa John's kitchens. The same prep surfaces, utensils, and employee hands touch both products without proper cleaning between uses. Former workers have posted videos showing breadsticks being prepared on surfaces still covered with raw dough residue. Perhaps most concerning, multiple former employees report being instructed to use expired yeast when fresh supplies run out during rushes, resulting in flat, dense crusts that customers still pay full price for. You might expect better standards from restaurants that charge premium prices for their upscale atmosphere. Red Lobster's Cheddar Bay biscuits have achieved legendary status, with customers driving miles just for those warm, cheesy treats. But the homemade image these biscuits project is completely manufactured. The ingredient list for their biscuit mix reads like a chemistry textbook, containing 23 different additives and preservatives, including sodium aluminum phosphate, calcium propionate, and datum emulsifier. Those biscuits you think are fresh from the oven are actually pre-made hours before service and reheated multiple times throughout the day. Former kitchen staff have revealed that biscuits often sit in warming trays for up to 6 hours, getting progressively drier and requiring additional butter brushings to maintain moisture. Health inspectors in Texas documented biscuits being reheated as many as 4 times in a single day during slow periods. The cheddar cheese blend that gives the biscuits their signature flavor creates its own problems. Multiple former managers have admitted they were instructed to use the smell test when cheese packages were past expiration dates, serving questionable dairy products rather than waste inventory. Internal memos from 2023 showed that some locations were using cheese up to 5 days past expiration. Perhaps most unsanitary is the butter brush used to coat the biscuits. Former employees have posted videos showing the same brush being used for dozens of batches without cleaning, accumulating grease, crumbs, and bacteria throughout entire shifts. One health inspection report noted that butter brushes tested positive for harmful bacteria levels, exceeding safe limits by over 300%. When breakfast restaurants handle pancake batter and toast, the problems multiply with ingredients that spoil even faster. IHOP's pancake batter practices reveal food safety issues that extend far beyond their breakfast specialty. Those fluffy stacks you're famous for come with a side of concerning kitchen shortcuts that affect everything they serve. Pancake batter sits in heated dispensers for hours, developing a thick skin on top that employees are instructed to mix back in rather than discard. Former cooks have posted videos showing batter with rubbery, congealed layers being stirred back into the mix that goes directly onto your plate. Health department temperature logs show batter held at unsafe temperatures for up to 8 hours during busy weekend shifts. The toast bread that accompanies every meal gets stored in open containers throughout the kitchen, exposed to grease, steam, and contaminants from other food preparation. One former manager in Nevada documented bread stored uncovered next to the grill area, absorbing smoke and oil residue for entire shifts before being served to customers. Those syrup dispensers that sit on every table harbor their own disgusting secrets. Internal cleaning logs obtained through a 2024 employment lawsuit showed that syrup dispensers were cleaned less than half as often as corporate policy required. Former employees have shared photos of mold buildup inside dispensers that flavors every drop of syrup that touches your pancakes. Perhaps most concerning, multiple locations have been caught using expired buttermilk in pancake batter when fresh supplies run out. This creates not just off flavors but serious health risks, as spoiled dairy products can harbor dangerous bacteria that cooking doesn't always eliminate. Next time you see that bread basket or stack of pancakes, remember what really goes into making them fresh.